they just went live with their UV printing. So if you're someone who's looking for like plywood or MDF that's been patterned, they just got that going on their website, which the link is in the description for that video.
Yep.
So they've got some really cool stuff.
So with UVs, you usually have a low power UV beam going as your outline.
Yeah.
When you invert, like an EasyCAD, if you invert your pulse width, it will affect that as well, which is a problem.
We're very, very close. The things that I have the developers working on now are nitpicks because I want things to be done a very specific way for you guys, and we're doing like the bow tying. Could be what? What could Boyce's be like?
On the
It
phone
could be
with us.
exploding with diarrhea.
Boyce is not here
Boyce
today
doesn't love us anymore.
because he doesn't love us anymore. What's up, everybody? Welcome to something. I don't even want to call it an episode of the Laser Source Podcast. It probably won't end up being an episode of the Laser Source Podcast because we're really behind on uploading edits of that. Michael's been doing a good job trying to catch us up, but wanted to check in, say hi, show our faces, talk about some stuff. I don't think we've even announced your thing, Matt. Are you ready to talk about that yet?
I am.
Would you like to start with that today? Matt has a big announcement, everybody.
Yeah, so after 17 years of teaching English and literature and mythology and speech and debate and film, I have been hired on full-time at Laser Everything.
New. What up?
Kyle didn't even have time to have that ready.
He did not.
So super excited to help you guys out, make some content, especially with the marketplace going live this year, being able to help out and get that going and get all of you guys into the marketplace, help the vendors out at the marketplace. Lots of marketplace stuff.
Lots of marketplace stuff lately.
And fixing Kyle's camera.
Are you sad? Are you sad that you're leaving school?
Yes and no, because I'll be honest, like I already know there's students who are going to be really like sad and upset because they took classes that I signed up to teach.
Yeah.
Specifically, like I already had a couple of kids so like friends of mine who are teachers, their kids were signed up for my classes. And for those of you that don't know, basically the story is that I had no plan to be full-time. About a week and a half ago, I guess.
Literally, not an exaggeration.
Yeah, Alex was like, hey, you need to get this and that scheduled. I need you to do that. And I was like, well, I won't be here in 2 weeks to do that. And he was like, well, why not? Want to?
Yeah.
And so it just kind of came up as a discussion. And I was like, well, I mean, yeah, I guess so. That'd be pretty cool. So the other thing is I'll be able to like amp up the amount of time that I spend lasering stuff, because just this week with school starting, I literally, Alex at 8:58 was coming into the StreamYard, and I was in here but on the phone with someone calling to order stuff because school was starting. So I'm really excited to be able to just make things, and like the same day people order stuff, I might be able to have it done that day or the next day.
Yeah.
And they just come and get it and get that, like actually spend time on Shopify. So that's one of the things I'm going to be helping out too, is with the business content.
Mm-hmm.
So actually making my Shopify not be as terrible as it is right now. I'm really excited about that. And then showing you guys how to use that, setting up an Etsy, all the different things that everybody wants to do but never has time for. I'll be doing that for you guys. So tons and tons of stuff. But
while you were talking, I just noticed that you washed your hoodie with hot water.
Yeah, can you tell?
Yeah.
My wife did.
Don't wash your Laser Everything merch with hot water.
Yeah. Not this
good.
Anyways. It coils up and looks like I wanted to be like one of the...
I'm not even talking about those. I'm talking about the print.
The print gets funky. Yeah.
I call this vintage.
Oh, so, right. Weathered, I believe.
Yeah, I was going for the weathered.
It's the weathered look, yeah.
Yeah.
Boyce has violent diarrhea, Miranda.
Yeah, actually.
Like, and he also doesn't love us anymore. He told me I stunk.
If you really want to hang out with Boyce, go follow the Instagram and TikTok, because he goes live on there all the time. I don't even hear about it until it's over. Boyce is like, I was just live for 8 hours on TikTok. And I'm like, what the hell? If you want to catch Boyce, go look at him over there, I guess, because he's too good for us here now.
Oh, yeah, Willie, thank you. Said he has respect for anybody who can put up with those brats for long.
Yeah.
They actually, this year, I think I had like half a day of like super genius kids, and the other half a day was like partial felon.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, but I mean, that's what I've done for the past like 16 years anyways, so it's okay.
That's what my girlfriend deals with right now, too. Very much in the same role you were, actually. She's earlier on, though. She's like, I think 7 or 8 years in. Respect for teachers, man.
You had an episode go up today, too, Matt.
Yeah, and I also had an episode today, that's true. It was called Fast Hardwood.
Fast Hardwood. Yeah.
Yeah, Fast Hardwood. and it's for H&H Creations Tampa. So we've talked about them on the channel a few times, and I'd used their products a handful of times, and I realized, like, these people are only like 30 minutes away from me. So if you haven't gone to see that yet, it's about a 15-minute video, and Brian and Christina are really awesome people. Like, the funny and charismatic people that are in the video, like, that's them, like, just walking
High energy.
talking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Super cool people. And I can say I wasn't allowed to film part of their shop, and the part of the shop I wasn't allowed to film because they just have some proprietary technology for what they do. And the stuff they have is amazing, and they definitely can keep up with any orders. They can get stuff done. Also, they just went live with their UV printing. So if you're someone who's looking for like plywood or MDF that's been patterned, they just got that going on their website, which the link is in the description for that video. So they've got some really cool stuff. So definitely, if you're looking, like, I'm pumped to have a local source for like Christmas ornaments, to be able to have a background be printed and then have like that thing on front. Mm-hmm. So I've got some ideas for some like football and like sports related ones for local around town.
Yeah, it's kind of cool that you can just like print a whole pattern on a piece of wood and then cut whatever you want out of it, and it's all going to be patterned the same way.
And the nice thing is they'll cut it down to your bed size for you and ship it right to you. Mm-hmm. Their packaging, they heat wrap, whatever you want to call it, and it keeps all the moisture out while shipping.
Yep.
So they've got like a whole process. It's really, really cool.
They definitely have their together. I can say that for sure. Willie's announcing that his UV ships on Monday.
Woohoo!
It's exciting,
nice.
Dude. Exciting times.
UV is a whole nother bundle of fun.
You were just playing with your UV, Kyle. What were you working on?
I guess I could pull up a couple photos.
Yeah. Oh man,
dude,
show us the photos. Kyle recorded some juicy ass UV B-roll.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Did you actually record any content while you were recording that, or is it just B-roll?
I recorded the recordings. Like, I recorded the engraving process.
Yeah.
I didn't do any of the prep or...
That's what VOs are for.
Yeah. I'll do a voiceover, but it was a beautiful anniversary set of wine glasses for my
They really are beautiful. Like, you did a great job. And the glasses are really, really cool because UV has that limited depth of field. And did you pick those, or did somebody buy them?
I picked those.
Yeah, dude,
that was my and Courtney's gift to her parents for their 20-year anniversary.
Cubing's asking if we think UV will ever go gantry. I don't think so. If we did, it would, or if they did, I think it would be like absurdly expensive. It would be like really a lot of money. I don't even know if the beam can go that far, honestly. I don't think I've ever seen it.
It's got a crazy short focal range, right? So, or focal range, yeah, but
it'd be difficult. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, so pretty.
So this is top down looking from like where you would be drinking, like when you look down at the stem and the base. So I did a reverse engrave on the base, like the names from everybody they were from, and then this is still snapped out of a video, so it's kind of crap when you scroll in. But doing the reverse engrave from underneath so that they're right side up when you flip it.
Those Rydell?
No.
Oh, no.
Well, they're crystal, but I don't think they're Rydell.
Dude, zoom in on like the crispness of the like small stuff. Look how nice that looks. Holy shit. Like the leafing in there. So nice.
I wasn't very like hyper focused. It's not bad.
They look sharper when they're on your own computer because Kyle sent them to me and like melted my brain with them. This definitely is a little compressed from being streamed and like broadcast on YouTube.
If you guys want to see them on your computer or your phone, they are in the show and tell channel on the Discord.
Nice. Look, you decided to show up.
Boyce loves us again.
People were asking about you, bro.
And we can't hear you.
Typical. Good try, man. You're also muted, Matt. What is wrong with you guys? Come on.
I was making fun. I was literally saying, like, right now, for those of you who can't hear Boyce, he's saying, gosh darn it, son of a gun.
Yeah.
Shoot. Tellywhacker.
Oh, fudgesicles.
Yeah. What I was saying is there's a question. A couple of people have already got questions in chat.
A word.
So says, hey guys, quick question.
I saw him.
Use Lightburn app for 2 lasers at the same time?
Yes.
I saw that come up earlier.
Yes, you can.
We have a video on that. It's part of the
Lightburn for
Galvo crash course. Yeah.
I've run up to 6 lasers at a time, and I could probably run more if I tried.
I think I've done like 4.
So far for me, the most is 3. Hi.
Aw. Hello, beautiful.
She says hi now.
For a second, I thought it was Boyce because he had his mouth open at the same time.
We've been practicing being sweet. Nugget, can you blow a kiss? Mwah. Oh, that's very nice. Remember when she was a tiny little baby and I was just like, oh, look, it's Nugget.
Yeah.
Now she's giant and she's blowing
Now
people
she's
kisses.
a chicken leg. She's chicken leg now.
Chicken leg.
We lost boys.
It's a wishbone.
There you go. That's more like it. A little wing.
Yeah. Boys. Dear. Boys is upset.
She's blowing kisses to you, boys,
Boys
because
is
she's trying to
having a
picture
rough
you.
night.
I know. Mwah. Oh, you're gonna help me? Thank you.
Let's see. Ooh, Robin Roberts.
What's up,
My
Robin?
laser arrived on Friday, and I spent the weekend watching you, Alex, trying to get set up 80-watt JPT. Holy shit.
Hell yeah.
M7, really excited and intimidated. Woo. Got a big boy.
Mwah. You know what? I'm excited, dude.
It is a tool. Just treat it with respect and you'll be fine.
Need to break out that 80-watt GZ Tech source. Do some stuff with that.
You do.
I really
Gotta
want to
get
play
that
with
build
that.
going.
Yeah. People are updating Boyce on the status of his microphone in chat, which I think is hilarious.
All right,
Look.
so how old is she? How old's Core now?
She's,
Almost 2?
Yeah, she'll be 2 in November.
I
Yeah.
was going to say 1 year, almost 9 months.
Really sad. There was a time on Laser Everything where Nugget didn't even exist, and now she's almost 2.
That
Oh,
was
you can
me.
brush
That
my
was
hair.
right when I think that was right when I came on the show for the very first time.
Thank you. I don't even care. What is this? What is this episode? I
I'm
don't
just watching.
Yeah, guys, we've been really busy working on the marketplace. I don't know if anybody noticed, but I have started a little mini series on the channel about how to get set up with the Laser Everything marketplace. So if you're not already a vendor, there's a whole video series there for you. I'm adding to it soon. Kyle and I have to finish up a couple things before I publish the next episode, but it's really close to being done. And
Big steps. Big steps.
very big steps. We just wrapped up features, which is really cool. And I can actually show that off really quick.
By the way, while he's getting that ready, when he says we've been working on it a lot, like out of the past 24 hours, I think Kyle and Alex were on it for like 14 hours before they took a nap.
No.
Then
It was 14 hours yesterday.
that's what I'm saying, yesterday. And then you took your nap overnight. Then I helped out for like 5 hours today, and they were on it for like 7 or 8.
Yeah.
So that's just in the past one day for one part of it. It's a lot of work.
This is really cool. I just remembered that we have 2 test fiber lasers on, so we can try the thing for the first time ever, which will be really cool. Yeah, you guys, this is a Laser Everything first. First for me, even. We haven't seen this yet. I haven't actually tried to do this. So if I can get my screen up, please don't touch the keyboard. You can do anything else. Great. Killing it. I turned it off because I'm smart.
Perfect.
So here's the Laser Everything marketplace, guys, and I made a couple test products today, which I'm going to pull up really quick. Kyle, can you explain the caching thing?
So right now with the site being built, we have basically when you're looking at a website and the way it functions, it caches data, right? It caches parts of the pages. So the response time of the site is a little slower right now because it's set up in real-time cache mode. So every little change we make gets cached real time. And so it takes the site a bit to feel normal. Once we get everything set up completely and turn that off, on top of the fact that we're now also on our
New server.
our new updated host, things should feel a lot snappier. They already are like 8 times faster than they were from the last host.
Yeah.
Especially like from the vendor backend, you'll notice a like even now feels like a substantial change, but it should get even better.
So here is a completed listing for a fiber laser. This is what it's going to look like, which is really cool. Like this is actually final. So here I'm just using a picture of an SFX laser. You see we actually get like the little zoom functionality there that we'd be used to getting. You can see the reviews for the product up here, a price, a return period, information about the vendor, and I've got some cool stuff to show with that too, so we'll take a look at that in a second. We have some kind of like feature tabs here that the vendors are able to fill out, and then we have this laser information. So this is like it's supposed to be the most important stuff. We will be kind of adjusting this as we go. Also, I have Dark Reader on. This is what it actually looks like. I wish it was dark mode like that. That looked cool, right?
With the power of the sun.
Yeah, you can see like there are some things like Booleans. So here it says safety glasses included, and there's just a checkbox. So safety glasses are included. That's great. Whether or not a rotary is included. the power consumption of the machine, the phase of the stepper driver. We built all of these options in as features for the vendors so that you're not wondering what you're getting when you buy a new laser. Because I feel like that's a big question, like, what controller is this machine going to come with? What kind of class is this laser? Who made the scan head? Like, we prompt them to fill all of that information out. And we got very, very specific, not just for fiber lasers, but for every kind of product that the marketplace will, allow the vendors to carry. I really think that's like a big kind of success point here. And it's something that you're not going to find other places that sell this kind of equipment. Things like the fiber laser source model, in this example, we're using one from GZ Tech, will be clearly listed. So there's no question as to what's going to arrive. It's not just going to be a quote unquote 80 watt laser. It's going to be a YFPM 80 watt GM, and that's like, I think that has value. These are out of order at the moment, but they will be ordered before we open. Here you can see normal description right here. And of course the reviews tab. So if you click reviews, you can see how things were rated. And I just left a little review here.
It's a blurb.
Got to test things out.
Well, it looks like, yeah.
Not a legit product, just a reminder.
We're all a big fan of how the photos pull up too, which is nice. These are just screenshots from my SFX review video. And last but not least, the features tab, guys. Literally all of the information you could ever hope to know or learn about your machine before making your purchase, including things like the cooling method, what connectivity options it has, min and max operating temperatures, your frequency range, like everything. All of that is here. And one of the other cool things too is, like, if the vendor includes a drop down where you can change out the fiber laser source, if you select a different source, this information will update down here in real time to reflect those changes as you pop back and forth between those different components, which is really, really awesome. But that isn't even the coolest part. This is the coolest part. So up here, you're going to see a couple little buttons under the add to cart button. There's add to wish list, which adds it to a handy little wish list up here, and compare. This is the reason we went through all of the work of setting up this feature functionality. So if I drop this into our comparison list here, I'm just going to click that little plus button. We're going to wait for it to cache everything on the website again and then load. And then we come over here, we're looking at more lasers, and we find this one, another fiber laser. And we're like, oh, this one's only $3,500. This one's a little cheaper. I wonder how it compares to the other one. Well, that's super easy to do. All we're going to do is come up here and click the compare button on this one too. And it is going to pull up a live comparison list. And every single thing between these two lasers can be compared all the way down. So
it's pretty sweet. Yeah,
it's amazing, dude. It's not just sweet. It's like unreal that we can even do this. For instance, I can see both lasers have a two-phase stepper driver, which is awesome. This one has variable pulse width and this one doesn't, because this one's a MOPA and this one's not. Things like that. They both have external rotary drivers. You can compare laser output power, so the machine wattage and beam quality. I mean, like everything that you could possibly hope to compare between these two units, you can do right here on the Laser Everything Marketplace. And I think that's like really, really, really cool. And eventually, if you make a decision, you can add one to your cart. So, that's awesome. If you want to see less stuff, you can get rid of any of these just by clicking the little X button to remove it as well, just to reduce the number of things on the page if you wanted to do that. But I think it's rad.
Before you do anything else real quick, like Cuban Crack just asked this question. Anyone know what fiber laser would be great for getting a high frequency? And that's exactly what this functionality is for. Yeah. Because you're sitting there thinking like, oh, this one's $1,000 cheaper. And what's the purpose of that? How come it's so cheap? And that's when you start to realize, because of the source, it allows you to have the frequency range. You can, like, it gives you the different functionalities and all that stuff, and you don't have to wonder anymore. It's all right there.
Yep. Yeah. So to answer that question real quick, JPT M7 sources are 1 to 4,000. LP sources from JPT are 600, so 1 to 600. Even if you go with like a MOPA from like Raycus or Max, they have a bigger frequency range than the lower end ones, but they're still a lot tighter than the JPT options. Yeah. And then you also have GZ Tech, which is very similar to JPT, but they're like 1 to 3,000 and 1 to 500 or something.
Yeah, their M7 comparable sources are 1 to 3,000, but you won't have to guess because you'll be able to see that right here. Here's actually the pulse repetition rate max field right there, less than or equal to 4,000 kilohertz.
That's the usefulness of that. The other thing too is like there's so many times I know we ask people what kind of board do you have. I tried to use Lightburn, it wouldn't connect. It starts a whole discussion of like, what board do you have? Oh, I don't know. Yep. How do I find out? And they have to look through their paperwork that they may or may not have kept. And now you're trying to figure all that stuff out. And instead, you're right there. And Matt said, "Can we hear what Boyce thinks?" He's shaking his head.
Unmute. I'm using my I'm not using my shotgun mic. It's not working, so I gave up.
Is it on?
Yeah, it's on. I'm not that damn old.
Yeah, so like to Matt's point here, Galvo controller model right there, and you can find that immediately.
Yep. And that's huge just to have that information right in hand.
You can compare like what things come with, like which one comes with a foot pedal, which one might come with a remote, or and this applies not just to fiber lasers, but to CO2 lasers or literally anything else in the entire catalog. Are you trying to compare beam combiners from two separate companies? You'll be able to do that. Laser mirrors, stepper motors, whatever you pick out of this menu, as long as they're from the same category, you should be able to compare them in this way. So that's pretty cool. One other update is the vendor profile pages. This is my fake vendor profile page that I made for testing things out and, creating new tickets. And we now have banners. Tried to make the experience a little more normal shopping. I don't know if you guys remember what the old one looked like, but it was not this. So there are banners now. We've got nice circular profile pictures, nice and modern. Here we have some hover functionality, and you can actually see some of those features down here highlighted, and we're working on getting that 100%, but it's doing fairly well so far with our testing. There are a couple different ways that you can sort things on the vendor's page, and the vendors will have the ability to create custom menus up here as well to organize their own products in a way they see fit. So that's also pretty cool. And actually, I haven't seen this view before. It's kind of neat that they throw these down. It looks like the cap is 2, Kyle. So we should keep that in mind going forward. But yeah, that's about it. It took infinitely less time to show you those updates than it took to implement them. But getting the features thing ready to go was one of the absolute last things we had to do. It was a really, 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 really big hurdle, and it's done, which is great. So we're making a couple other really small changes to how categories are organized. If you are a vendor, you'll be getting an email from Kyle or myself probably tonight letting you know that you can start uploading products again. And we're, rapidly approaching.
It's cooking.
Yeah.
With fire.
It's cooking with fire.
And lasers.
That's the marketplace update. What would be better for cutting glass, UV or a JPT-M8? It's got to be a UV.
UV is really good at doing glass work. Not that we really push 3D too much, but 3D UV would be really good for cutting glass because then you can live focus down a set amount and get reliable results. So if you do nothing but glass cutting special little shapes, that might be something to look into. The JPT-M8, most people have to go with higher wattages from what I understand to really do much on cutting glass.
The whole thing, my understanding is the whole thing with the M8 is that they're raising the peak pulse power in order to have an effect on glass. And they're kind of cheating in that way by pushing the limits of what can be done with a fiber laser. UV is just inherently the right wavelength to interact with glass. And that, in my mind, makes it the better tool because it kind of natively works with that material. So, yeah.
The cost to entry, too, you can get a 5-watt UV for a fraction of what an 80 or 100-watt M8 is going to cost you if you're going to be cutting glass.
What would you cut glass for, though?
What do you mean?
I actually have a project that I have sitting next to me.
Glass coasters.
A guy he had an antique cigar holder, and he called me this week and said, "Hey, I've got an antique cigar holder that has a piece of plastic, what ended up being plastic in the middle of it." And he said, and one of the guys left their cigar on it, and it melted it, but I want to get it replaced with glass. And so I literally had to take my micrometer this week and, measure out the actual inner diameter. And then I actually had a piece of glass from an old, a messed up frame that I did. I just kept the glass because why not? and I cut a circle out
for
and
science.
charged him $20, and he was like, "Awesome, thanks."
Also, people want glass cut.
Random
Like people
stuff.
just want holes in glass, and there's not a lot of good ways to do that. UV is a really good way to do that without shattering it. Also, I see Cubing saying, I want to blow my savings account on a UV and a new fiber, but I know I shouldn't. Probably
One
not the
thing
first fiber. You have a fiber, but maybe a UV.
Knowing that you're literally getting prepped for college right now, probably not the right move.
I would say if it was me, like the fiber would be the better way to go because it'll pay itself off faster and you can get in for a much lower cost for what you're going to do. Like I know.
Wait, doesn't Cubing already have a fiber though?
He said he wants a new fiber.
No,
Yeah.
that's
why
fair.
we're not debating fiber versus UV. We're just saying,
okay.
He's already got a fiber laser. So I'm saying add the UV.
If you've got the CO2 and the fiber right now, you're good to go, man.
Keep saving.
26K. Good Lord. That's like all the money I've ever had in my life.
Keep saving. Do your college thing. Buy a shop when you get out of college.
I'll say whatever you're doing's working if you got 26K sitting around. So
yeah, for real. Get a UV now. I disagree with these guys completely.
No, I'd get a UV for sure. I would take $5,000 out or $6,000. What the hell it is.
My first thought on that, as far as business wise goes, like if you really want to buy it instead of just to have it and it's a new toy, what 3 products that you can't make now are you going to make, or what do you already make that you can't keep up with that you need to make faster? Like that's the question I ask myself. How is this going to expand what I already do and I can already make money for it? Like I either have a market for it or I know the market exists and I need to jump on it.
Yeah, like are you going to be diving into crystalline glass ornaments and awards for the holiday season kind of thing? Or you got to definitely have a plan.
I could tell you with the plastic payday video that's coming out pretty soon, that right now plastic, if you can jump on the market for school, I had 3 teachers this week call me for nameplates. And I'm about to make a Facebook post because school starts here in 2 weeks. So I'm going to make a Facebook post for making name tags for little kids' backpacks. $5 a piece. You can buy a $12 piece of Romark or whatever plastic from the company that you get it from, and just like quintuple your money, from that one piece of plastic. Easily make $100 off of a sheet of $11 plastic. So if you haven't thought about that yet, local, make a link that they can just buy it right there from your Facebook shop, and they just have to send you the info. And UV could also do that plastic, but the CO2 is bangerang for that.
It's so much better.
Here's your kit, Cubing. It's a 5-watt air-cooled Ingu source with a rotary and a 160 millimeter lens.
Tell people why an Ingu is different. Like, what's the difference from a JPT to an Ingu?
There's not a strong difference. It's the only difference Kyle and I have been able to tell so far is that pulse width seems to be inverted for some reason, and it has to do with the way that the internal controller inside of the source is set up to handle instructions from EasyCAD. It's bizarre.
Yeah, has nothing to do with the software on the computer, which
and it doesn't really have anything to do with the laser, because we can simply invert our settings and they typically end up working out. There have been some edge cases where that's not the case, but
it also messes with your so with UVs you usually have a low power UV beam going as your outline.
Yeah,
when you invert like an EasyCAD, if you invert your pulse width, it will affect that as well, which is a problem.
It is.
So it's not really recommended. But yeah, it's like any other, it's like comparing 2 different fibers, but the difference is just functionally they interpret the settings differently.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Cubing, hold off and get your UV from the Laser Everything Marketplace, because it will be up soon enough that you would be able to pick that up.
Do they have a 10-watt option?
Not here, but they do still have JPT seal sources, I believe. Last time I talked to Steven,
the 10 watts are all water cooled.
Yeah, you can request that, but they are all water cooled. Yeah.
Cody asked a question. Kyle, have you had time to play with the longer laser 30 watt? It's the B130 watt that I had my eye since you brought it up a few episodes back. No. So
that's a
I have
30 watt? Damn, I didn't know that was a 30 watt.
I think it's actually a 36 optical output laser. Oof. They just classify it as the 30 watt because they also have a 20 watt version.
That's heavy.
Which I think is actually 22 watt or something. But
Anthony stopped. He sent me a super chat and then laughed about how I was going to tell him to stop. So stop.
So I've not. I actually have a project planned for it. I'm waiting for some components to kind of come together before I dive into that. A little bit different. I hope it'll be received well.
Does it involve cutting things?
It involves cutting. It involves engraving. It involves additive manufacturing.
Oh,
it involves a lot of things.
Yeah.
It might even involve epoxy.
Very strange and mysterious.
Do I know what this is?
No. I haven't. Okay. I haven't actually told anybody yet.
Oh my!
Not even me. I have no idea what he's talking about.
I know. I'm like, wait, what did it? Was I thought it was like a fever dream I had.
It's a super surprise. So
super secret squirrel.
But I will report back as soon as I get to play with it.
Our viewers for the bad live episodes have been going up. Have you noticed? Obviously, like, this one isn't titled, like, we're giving away 50 free lasers. So there isn't, like, 300 people watching right now. But when we just are, like, sitting around bullshit about the channel, we used to have, like, I feel like it was, like, 20 to 25 on average. And now it's, like, 40-ish has been really consistent for when we're just talking out of our asses, and appreciate that. So if you're here, thanks for hanging out. And don't forget to smash the like button, please. And thank you.
A lot of that is us teaching Cuban Cracked how to convince his dad to help him spend more money. See?
Yeah, I mean,
have to convince dad to let me buy one. He's already not the happiest that I blew $6K on his CO2 and diode and other miscellaneous items.
Tell you what, Matt's episode for Plastic Payday.
I think so.
Just do a duplicate of that. Hook up with the schools in your area. Do a Facebook ad for tags for kids. There's all teachers, kinds of stuff. You can easily make that back in it won't be easy, but you can make that back in like 2 weeks.
Is Plastic Payday out?
Yeah, profitable.
Nope.
It hasn't. No. Okay. All right. Soon. PM. Sunday.
Like, it's thumbnail. That's it.
I think Sunday.
So I'm not kidding you guys. I'm telling you
I'll
the
just
amount
schedule
of money
that right now.
Can make, the amount of money that you can make with a couple of sheets of Romark, or if you're someone who buys from JDS, I think it's Enduramark is their brand. It's all kind of very similar with different coatings, and I'm sure there's proprietary stuff in them. But what I'm getting at is, to the customer, it's very similar. Like like no one's asking for the highest grade quality plastic for a nameplate. But for new teachers that are going out, contact your PTA, your local PTA. Just send the school. Don't ever bother the principal. They never read their own email anyways. Go to the principal's secretary and literally go to a school's website, click on principal secretary, and like the staff, find that person, shoot them an email, or just call and say, hey, I have an opportunity for your teachers. I'd love to give a discount to the teachers and to the parents, because a lost book bag full of all the kids' stuff is worth easily $80-$90, because I know my kids have like $30 book bags and all the crap inside of it is like $50. So putting a name tag on it for $5. Also, if somebody is lost, I know my daughter got lost the first month of kindergarten, and she was like crying alone in the middle of the courtyard. And a teacher walked up to her, and on it had Evelyn, her teacher name, and her class, and walked her right to it.
So it was one of the first things that I made when I started. Little backpack tags.
Yeah. Yep. The other thing that's really, really good to make, buy some aluminum. I made this for my son, and I ended up having 5 or 6 people contact me, was an aluminum dog tag that said peanut allergy, because my kid who's 6 years old can't tell an adult he can't eat food. Yep, medical and behavioral alerts, exactly right. And then I also took a big ass piece of plastic, because substitutes, as a teacher myself, former teacher, I made a big red that lasered to white, and it says peanut allergy, and they taped it down to my son's desk so that way a substitute knows. Because they don't know. They come in with their own candy. They come in with whatever. And they just say,
they come in with their own candy.
Oh, substitutes know how to take care of a classroom. So no, like, all silliness aside, an old lady comes in and hands my kid a peanut butter cup. My kid's going to be like, yummy, smells good. And then anaphylactic shock. And, so just saying.
Tell us one more time what people are going to get out of watching Plastic Payday.
So Plastic Payday, I literally go through, I walk you through the product. I made some exterior signs for a local power company. And so I take you through how I bought the product, how much it costs for a sheet. I go through the pricing of it. So literally figuring out what is my price to me, and then what do I charge the people? And then on top of that, how do I figure out from time to how do I price out my time, and also why I convinced them to use the size I was using instead of what they wanted, because it didn't really make a lot of sense monetarily. They would have ended up paying more. And so I was trying to save them money. And in the end, they were really excited about the product. They were like, oh my God, this is exactly what we needed, man. Way to go. And it literally was something where I took $100 of plastic and turned it into $600. I think it was about 550 something. So the whole thing is, if you can have a 400% return, I mean, granted, you're accounting for the time, maybe 250%. Like, that's how you pay off that laser quick.
Yeah.
A $12 piece of plastic turning into $100 for you. It's a no-brainer for typing in the name of a school, the name of a kid, and a classroom.
Yep.
Seconds. And you're helping out the community. You're making a kid feel safe, and you're making money.
So that is, let me make it official, airing this Sunday at August 6th at 10:30 in the morning.
And I also give you settings, the settings I use for the dual layer plastic on my 150 watt, but you could probably convert those. Give you a couple tricks on how to clean it up and make it look nice. And
it is
that's it.
Officially scheduled.
All right.
Here were mine.
Yeah, those are cool.
Yeah. They're just Romark. That's it.
Yeah. And like,
they just got little keychains and that was it.
It takes so easy.
That's the beauty with Romark too, is you have so many finish options. You have the Romark Naturals. You have the...
Yeah, look, here it is. This was actually, I literally took these swatches. I copied how they made the ones inside the Romark swatch book, and then I cut them out of the material myself. So I just did like little blocks and just engraved through it. And then I set them on a white sheet of paper and gave them labels. And that was it. Yeah, and I put these up on the Etsy listing. People used them to like make a selection because I had a drop down, right? So they'd be like, oh, I want black and yellow, and they could just look at this and see it, and they would be able to pick from the swatches. And I made sure when I was doing my Etsy listings, like I had them on the bag, so they had some like context, and it like made sense. So I literally I stole Felix's backpack tag or backpack and like threw tags on it. I got a couple different bags from Walmart so I could like theme match them a little bit, and just like things like that made a really big difference, I think, in like our conversions when we were doing that kind of stuff. And there's a lot of stuff you can do with Romark too. These were garden tags that I made, so they were pretty cool. Yeah, so it was like if you get somebody like a plant or flowers or whatever, you could like just tuck it in, with their little cactus or what have you.
If you do a plant, like a traditional planter too, you can get the adhesive on the back, stick it right to the face of the planter.
Yep, totally. Yeah. And also Romark makes this stuff. It's 2-ply, but it's magnet. So you can actually like engrave and cut your own magnets. So I was doing like little Zelda ones for a little while. They look really, really, really good. This was with the OhmTech. Before I had anything else, I was doing these little magnets with the OhmTech, and we had ones that were like, I forget, they were like property of the library or whatever, so you could like slap it on a cart, you know what I mean? Oh, look, here's some on the back of my mom's car. So I literally cut this out and just tested it to see if it would stick on a car, and it totally does. That
would be a great product to make like job parking, and then just slap it on someone's car. Yeah, they can take it off, but just for funsies.
That's a good Etsy listing.
Oh, yeah. These are all my Etsy. These are my legit Etsy photos. So I did like student of the month ones. I did like actual kind of like placard ones. There's the library one. Please return cart after use. Just things like that. Little utility things. People don't really think about that kind of stuff. They really want to make the like cute, fun stuff like that. And like the utility stuff actually does really well. I made these little donated ones. And like, this is just a chair that I had in my garage. And I held that piece of paper up behind it while I took the picture. But it could totally be like a donated folding chair, and you just slap 100 of them on, And the other thing,
do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, dude, forget about the aluminum ones. Pet tags, just cut your own, instant color, and that never fades. You don't have to worry about it scratching off or anything like that. Like those came out really well, sold very, very well. And the other one is pins, which I'm going to do an episode on this soon. But these are just clutch back pins.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah, and these came out really, really great and sold really well. I was being naughty. These were Nintendo things.
This was before you were like here.
Yeah, yes. This was way before Laser Everything even existed. I will put a disclaimer on that. But it was very effective. So while we're on the topic, I just thought we'd kind of show some of that.
By the way, shout out to Willie Sims. Thank you, sir, for that super chat. Appreciate it, brother.
Laura says, is that the material that can be used with the CO2? Yes, it is designed to be used with the CO2.
These were my very first test cards that I ever did, when I started the business. It's kind of weird to look at. I had no idea what I was doing. Look at how burnt the acrylic is down here. It's like black.
That's when you had to make your own test grid still.
Yeah, and I didn't understand the scanning offset adjustment. I had no idea what that was or how to use it. So this is when I was like, why is my thing coming out so blurry? I don't understand. Just weird memories in here. I don't know. Oh, dude. Have you guys ever seen one of these?
Yes.
Look at that.
That thing is like a fire siren.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. It's
Yeah.
and it's not even, they don't even work that well.
Oh, the one I had like would literally funnel out any air you were trying to breathe.
Here's a good memory. Oh, it's the ribbon cutting. That's a good one. I was so young. It was so long
Look at
ago.
skinny Alex. Oh,
I was about
boy.
to say, he's so skinny.
No.
By the way, shout out to Laura.
Laura.
Thank you, Laura.
Super. Willie and Laura both helping us out there.
Appreciate that, guys.
Ooh, Gulf Coast Laser. Yeah, did you see his new or their new laser? I think
No.
you commented on it in Facebook. It was like the massive beast.
What'd they get?
Oh, it was the full sheet dealio.
Oh,
The
a full
big-
sheet.
4x8.
Boy.
Bigger, I think.
CO2?
Oh, maybe not. 40 by 63.
Woo,
That's almost
big
a full
enough.
sheet.
It's almost a full sheet.
8 inches shy. Yeah, that's a killer machine right there.
You can make some big
When
old
you can
signs.
sleep in it, in the size of your work bed, that's big.
Willie's saying that the plastic dog tags wouldn't last with the terriers. I wouldn't argue that they were designed to.
Find it in their poop.
My tags were for chihuahuas.
The little guys.
What are the ones that look like teddy bears? Little teddy bear dogs?
Wait, boys, don't you have a
Pomeranian?
bigger one?
A
Yeah, like
golden doodle.
Pomeranians.
Golden
Put 'em on
doodle?
Pomeranians.
You got a golden doodle.
Is that the? I don't even know what that is.
It's to make up for the lack
Curly
of hair.
Yes, that's it. I'm collecting her hair to make a wig.
My sister has 2 full poodles, purebreds. One's chocolate and one's like that like sandy tan color.
Dude, I have we had the mini Schnauzer, best dog ever.
And thank you so much for listening to the Dog Podcast, the
Yeah.
#1 podcast
Yes.
if you love dogs.
Honestly,
Honestly,
Joe.
Honestly, guys, I wish we had more to talk about this week. We're grasping at straws simply because we have literally been programming a laser engraving marketplace for like 3 weeks now. Really, really hard.
Wow.
We've been working with our web developers very closely and testing things and trying to make things make sense and work in a way that you won't notice it when it opens.
In fairness, it's been more than 3 weeks. We've just been smashing our keyboards with our phase for 3 weeks.
Yes, we're very, very close. The things that I have the developers working on now are nitpicks because I want things to be done a very specific way for you guys, and we're doing like the bow tying right now, just to really kind of set the stage. I'm still not allowed to give a date because Miranda won't let me, but I will tell you we are doing the bow tying on the marketplace. And as long as it feels like it's been almost like 2 years since I kind of announced plans to start working on this, I think we are in the home stretch. And so that's really taking up all my time. Miranda yelled at me today because I would not stop working on the marketplace to schedule a video. So the whole reason that H&H Creations Tampa went up today was because Miranda hollered at me and told me to upload a video. So thank Miranda in the chat for making me do that, because it's really hard to pull me away from anything marketplace related right now. And the guys have been kind of suffering along with me. Poor Amanda's just watching in horror at this point, hoping that
She had a website and Alex burned it to the ground.
Yeah. So yeah. Lots of
that's so funny.
there's a lot of stuff going on. I'd like to remind everybody that we do have. Did you guys see the huge dump of new settings in the Fiber Laser community settings library? Because we got like 15 new parameters over there, so that was really cool to see.
Nice.
A lot of really nice looking black marks. So I'd like to remind you guys that is there, as well as the CO2 gantry parameter library, community parameter library that you can participate in, and we have the free settings page up now that you can check out, and all of that is thanks to our members over at the LMA. So please, if you haven't already, consider subscribing over there. It starts at $8 a month. It's super duper easy to sign up, and it allows us to do everything that we do here, especially now, because we're now more than ever, we're giving it all away for free. And we do that with faith and confidence that our community will stand behind us when we do it. And you guys did, at least so far. So great job. Super grateful for you.
One thing about that, Cody asked about.
Yes.
The Google Meet class is coming along. So if you weren't here last week, or was it 2 weeks ago when we announced 2 weeks ago?
It was not 2 weeks, and it was last week.
Oh man, yeah, my life has flown by.
Yeah, it's just last week.
Yeah, so basically the LMA is going to have some new stuff going on with it. One of those being business with Bodiford, right? So basically once a month we'll have like a focal topic that we'll post ahead of time where you guys will have an idea of kind of like what we're going to be learning about, so you can have questions prepared. I'll have some information. And by the way, some of you guys may even have more expertise and knowledge in it than me, and I'd love to hear what you guys have to say to add to that.
That's what makes it cool, the Google Meet format.
So basically, anybody, you do have to be an LMA member to sign up for it. That's one of the benefits of it. So that's one of the things that I'm doing. Alex, what are you working on with it?
Well, I've done nothing. I'm not going to lie. I've done literally nothing on it so far besides make a really pretty events page. And that's just because, again, Kyle and I are like in the thick of it right now. But I plan to create a nice schedule page that you will be able to click to from the events page that will have a literal calendar with the events on it, including business body and
body with business.
But it's the business Bodiford, man.
Body business. That's what it should be.
The photo video one, Lasered Live. I still think Boyce should do the social media one, but we still have not even talked to him about that. Boyce has no idea what we're talking about right now. Okay. And I signed you up to do a live class on Google Meet for the LMA members. Great. That's
like how to go live and how to use
I was
TikTok.
counting on that. I was counting on that reaction. So yeah, so we're gonna build. I have to build that. I haven't built it. So there's not infrastructure in place for that yet. And I will focus on that as soon as I am done with like the top priority marketplace stuff. That will be my next priority. Matt's more than welcome in the meantime to just throw a Google link up on the LMA, and he may do that if he wants to get started, because Matt does like that from time to time. So if you want to sign up, you can find out more over at masters.lasereverything.net or click any of the links on our website that beg you to sign up for the LMA. You can just lasereverything.net it. Every single page has a link to the LMA on it somewhere that you can click. So I would definitely check that out. Where is the plastic content going to be? Right here on YouTube. Sunday, August 6th at 10:30 a.m. I scheduled it while we were live.
Eastern time.
Eastern time. Thank you. Because Matt gave me a sad look. So that's officially scheduled. I'll probably make it a premiere once we have a thumbnail. Did you do a thumbnail for that one?
That's what I've been working on since yesterday. Remember I told you,
yeah.
And then
Cool.
like the next project popped up, and the next project popped up.
So when Matt sends me a thumbnail, so it's not just like some random still of his face, like I will make it a premiere so that we can all watch it together when it drops. That'll be fun.
I love being a new guy.
So that's this Sunday.
We should intentionally make that the face that comes up on the
just take a screenshot of that. Yeah.
And then just literally put bought a business on it. Like that's gonna be like my bought a business. Hey.
Bought a business. Bada bing, bada boom, bada business.
Bada boom, bada business.
I was like, see, Alice, I know you wanted some updates with us. I want to show you guys something that Diana has starting to dial in on. I'm not good at this, but she is.
When's Diana coming in here? It sounds like Diana does all the work, and then you come in and report it lacklusterly.
She's getting photos down.
That's cool.
Hell yeah.
So a guy in our neighborhood, his little brother passed away, and this is a photo, and he made a poem. And so she put the poem. Dude, this is nice. And
is the poem on the glass, or is that acrylic?
It's acrylic on top of it.
Acrylic on top of it with the standoffs.
Yeah.
Dope.
And it fits snug as a bug. And unfortunately, I had another friend die last month. We made one for his mom. Yeah. 43, man. It's crazy. And we just gonna take that off there.
You're the stuff that you guys sell looks so done when you sell it.
Yeah, we make a final product. Like
you make a final product. And you guys are really good at that. That's kind of I wouldn't mind like an LMA Google Meet class about making a final product.
Dude, literally.
Yeah.
Like
and a file, man. It's all about the file. Like how
maybe that's what people will call Boyce's thing final product.
Startup.
And it'll be like design, like product design. Because you're really good at that. That's one of your skills.
That's what we just secured our first pop-up shop at like some swanky little store on Lake Michigan's Bluff right there in St. Joe, Michigan. It's like a big tourist spot.
The fact that you just said bluff just means money to me.
I know, yeah.
And Labor Day weekend Saturday.
What's a bluff? I don't even know what a bluff is.
It's like an overreach over water.
It's just a sandy hill. So it's an upbank.
Moving checkers.
You know that restaurant next to the falls that you were telling me about, Alex?
Yeah.
Think of it that way. It's like that's like a bluff, except that's over a waterfall.
Got
It's a hill. It's a hill in front of a lake.
A bluff is when your wife says you
Fine.
won't fart under the sheet, but then you do, and
Oh,
you
geez.
called her bluff. Is that how that works?
I don't. Not calling your bluff is when your wife tells you to upload a video today or else.
You're back in the house, so we know the video got posted. Like that's how we
Anyway,
know.
I like final product with boy. That sounds like that's kind of like it's got a good hook.
Yeah, no, we gotta make sure it's okay with Apple or whoever.
Apple.
Their final product software is a joke.
That's a piece of software.
Final Cut Pro.
Final
Well,
Cut.
The hell with me then. I don't
What's
have
Final
That sounds like
product?
such a great laser thing, though. Like Final Cut with boys.
I have Adobe.
Final product.
Here's a
There it
dopey
is.
voice.
Well, we did
Adobe.
it, guys. We killed an hour. I don't know how, but we
Slowly.
are at the end. Does anybody have any last minute things they want to mention before we bail?
I'm looking forward to those streams where we do some projects.
What streams where we do some projects?
The Lasered Live.
Oh yeah, Laser Live. Oh, are you gonna do Laser Live with me?
I'm gonna try to, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be sick. Yeah, Laser Live, dude. You're gonna have to come by and pick up a couple of your lab coats so you can wear the lab coats. I'll
Oh,
just ship them to you,
no.
dude. I'll just put them in a box. I don't give a shit.
Oh no.
Yeah, we got to break the lab coats back out. It's lasered. Is it even lasered if you're not wearing a lab coat?
I want a bow tie, and I'll just be the chat guy.
We have so many bow ties. I bought two
So many.
giant 20 packs of various
Could you
patterned bow
please send
ties.
voice a bow tie for what we've talked about before
Yes.
in videos with it?
Yeah, for the coat hanger. Sure.
Like as you and Kyle are like playing with lasers, I'll be the chat guy, and Boyce is just gonna be like,
EmergencyStop.net. Thank you guys so much for watching, hanging out with us live, being here, doing all the things you do. Go sign up for the LMA. Smasters.lasereverything.net. Smash the like button on your way out the door, and go leave a comment on Matt's new video, H&H Creations Tampa. Go check that out. It's seriously really good. And if you haven't already seen it, please go watch it. And if you have already seen it, go back and leave a comment. Say like, good, like a caveman. Oof, unga. And then that's it. That's all you need to do.
tell me what you like about my wood.
How fast is it? That really helps the video with the algorithm and all the magic and Google nonsense. So please go do that. And I'm looking forward to seeing each and every one of you, all 40 of you, at the premiere of Matt's other new episode, Plastic Payday, which will be, again, 10:30, August 6th, Sunday, 10:30 a.m. EST. So we'll see you then for that. I think that's all we've got. Everybody good?
I got something.
Oh,
68% of our viewers aren't even subscribed.
yeah, that's rough.
Well, that hurts.
It's not these people. It's not these 29 people.
Well, if you're watching this later and you're one of those people, if you're part of the 68%, hit that subscribe button. It's free.
It's free.
If you like
Costs
hanging out
nothing.
and learning, it's good stuff.
And
Get
if you don't,
notifications so you can see this face.
do it anyway because Kyle deems it necessary. All right. What the hell was that? We're leaving. Thank you guys so much. I love each and every one of you. We'll see you next week. Keep an eye out for those marketplace updates. Okay, bye.
We'll be right back.